I told you there's a sushi bar in Savannah, Georgia right now doing the kind of composed, precise big city sushi you'd expect to find downtown, you might not believe me. But it isn't downtown. It's 12 miles to the south, behind a gate on a golf course. This is FinJin, Sushi and Noodles, tucked inside the Landings Golf and Athletic Club on Skidaway Island. Chef Jin runs the sushi program, Chef Johnny dim sum and noodles right alongside him. The rolls are exceptional. This pork belly ramen is as good as I have had anywhere. There's a lot to love about this restaurant, but one of the things that jumps out at me is that this menu doesn't sit still. Every week or two it'll be tweaked to keep it fresh. That's not something you'd expect from a private club's kitchen. That is restaurants thinking. That's someone trying to earn a return visit, not just feed the neighborhood. And it sits right next door to Craft Kitchen and Bar, this club's newest concept in this clubhouse, serving up creative comfort food in a warm, contemporary pub setting. So you've got a sushi bar on one side of the wall and an elevated pub kitchen on the other, and no one here thinks that's strange. You can start with a cocktail and a plate of comfort food at one bar and finish the night with a spicy tuna roll at the next. That is called modern private club dining. Not the same clubhouse food your grandfather remembers. But here's some context because I do think it matters. The Landings isn't new money chasing a trend. This community got started back in 1972. A year later, Arnold Palmer designed the first golf course, Marshwood, and the first club memberships were sold in 1974. So we're talking about a community with over 50 years of history in this area, about 4,600 acres, little over 9,000 residents, and 6 golf courses. That isn't a club chasing a fad. That's a club that's been building its identity for a half-century, and it decided about a decade ago that food was the next thing worth building. Here's the real story, and it's a little bit bigger than a sushi bar. About 2010, the Landings leadership made a call. Dining was going to be a differentiator, not an afterthought. Since then, they've roughly tripled the number of dining venues on the property, and they are now running somewhere around 9 full-time restaurants, plus a food truck across 5 separate clubhouses. FinJin is just the newest, loudest example of that bet paying off. And it's not just happening here. Look at what's going on in the private club industry right now across America. Food and beverage revenue per member has jumped about 75%, making up more than a quarter of total club income. Industry analysts are calling it an arms race of capital reinvestment. Clubhouses, wellness of course, and especially dining, all getting rebuilt at once. Why does this matter for Savannah specifically? Because the competition for retirees and second home buyers along this coast is fierce. You've got Hilton Head about 45 minutes or so to the north, Bluffton and Beaufort right in between. And now Florida's towns are pulling at that same buyer with their own pitch. Everyone's got golf, everyone's got a gate, and a pool. When the amenities start to look the same on paper, the tiebreaker becomes, where do I actually want to eat dinner 5 nights a week? That's the long game the Landings is playing, and playing it as well as anyone out there. The Landings' own director of club operations put it about as plainly as you can. Golf is holy here, but food is right before it. FinJin is proof of that. It was built strictly because of resident demand. Big city sushi, inside a gate, on Skidaway Island, and along the whole Georgia coast, I don't know anyone doing it better than them right now.